Hello everyone, welcome back. For those who are new, my name is Carrie, and day 2 of Disney World, we went to Epcot, which was amazing because I have not been here in probably like 12 years. First, we went to Living with the Land ride, and there's this really cute quote from George Bush that I just had to get. The ride in itself was awesome. It was super relaxing and chill. We got to go see all of these plants and even some fish in this tank, and then there was some shrimp in this one. And we got to learn a little bit about all the crops around the world. It was just a very informative ride with a lot of cool things to see, and they actually use a lot of the crops in like the meals at Disney World, which was also really cool. But then we headed over to the Imagination with Figment or something. I forget the names of all the rides, but it was really cute because there was a little dino who was taking us through, and we got to be immersed in all of the senses like sound, sight, hearing, and then we saw the red panda from Turning Red, which I love. Then we walked around a little bit and enjoyed the scenery while we were waiting for our reservation to the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. And while we were waiting to check in, we stopped at the Mission to Space ride, and the orange line was really long, and I remember doing that when I was like 8 and it was like really intense, but we decided to just do the green one and it was really fun. And then we played some games in this cool little arcade that they had after the ride, and then our reservation was up to go to the Guardians of the Galaxy. There was a huge hype about it, and it was probably one of the most anticipated rides at Epcot because it was so new, so high tech, and it was one of those revolutionary rides for roller coasters. So of course, as we're waiting in the long lines, you see a ton of cool little designs of the world and just all this cool high techy decorations, and it was really cool to see all of this. And me and Anthony were kind of just playing games on our phone. Then we finally got to the entrance of it. It was absolutely amazing. I was like tearing up on the ride because I was like, this is beautiful. It was so fast. By far favorite ride at Epcot. I wish we could have done it again, but they had the certain reservations that you could only do once unless you wanted to pay $25 to do it again, but that also sold out really quick. We then hit up Spaceship Earth, which was a really cool ride. It was a super dark ride that basically went through the progression of Earth. Started out as like cavemen and then, developing into the world that we now know today. The stars were awesome. It was dark. I almost kind of got sleepy in it, and then we got to do this cool thing where we got to plug in where we wanted to live and like what we wanted to do, and then it gave us a scenario of our future. And then they also had fun games here too, so Anthony liked to do his little race car games. And then we headed over to Test Track, which that line was insanely long, and by this time our feet were already hurting. It was probably only midday honestly, but from all the walking yesterday it was like terrible. Our feet were just dying. And then halfway through us waiting, they shut down for, they didn't give you an estimate, and so we were like, do we leave, do we stay? But we were like, we've already waited so long, let's just stay. And then thankfully the ride wasn't down for too long. We got to build our own car. The ride was so fast, faster than I remember even, and y'all gotta admit our car turned out pretty cool. And then we saw these really cool Chevy cars out here. I drive a Chevy car, so I love Chevy, and I mean, look at how gorgeous these cars look. Like, if I had the money, I would definitely buy another Blazer. Next, we decided to travel around the world, and that's what Epcot is basically known for, so this was really fun to experience. First, we started off with Mexico because we wanted to go on the boat ride, and we got to see a lot of the skeletons, and it reminded me a lot of the movie Coco, which is one of my favorites. It was super cute, and when we get further in, feels like you're kind of in a little Mexican town. And here we are on the boat ride. It was really cute because we were following Donald Duck around as he was running through a little Hispanic town, and they were just chasing each other around. And then there were a lot of fiestas that we got to experience, and this ride actually kind of reminded me of It's a Small World, just with all little figures, and those were the little banners that are from Coco. And then there's Donald Duck enjoying the culture, and that was it. But that was really fun, and they're all saying adios. And then we went to Norway, but this one was a little bit smaller, and we moved straight to Chinatown. I was really excited to go here. I was craving some bubble tea, which we ended up getting, and we kind of walked into this store and was just enjoying all of the Asian culture. There's Buddha, and then we saw these cute little corgi stuffies that I thought were so cute. Here's the bubble tea, and Anthony got this Kung Fu Punch. And then we were in this place where it showed all of the different Disney worlds, like in Shanghai or whatever, and I lived in Shanghai, and they were building it right as I was leaving. So I was kind of excited to see what they have, and then they also showed Disney World in Japan and just other places, and I thought it was really cool, and one day I would love to visit it. Then we decided to continue our walk, and they had like a few little pop-up countries. So like we saw India, and they had a few entertainment spots at some of the pop-up countries, and there was Kenya, and we hit Germany, which was awesome. I'm studying abroad in Barcelona next semester, and so I'm really excited to go visit Germany and actually see it for myself. Then there was a pop-up shop for Spain, and I thought these little trains were so cool. I love like miniaturized towns or villages, like representations of them. I just think it's so cute. And then we moved on to Italy, which is another place that I really want to visit while I'm abroad. We honestly just kind of walked around the world. We didn't stop too long in any of them. We passed the American Dream, which is basic. I think we stopped to the bathrooms there. And then we went to Japan, and I'm absolutely obsessed with Japan. I was supposed to go on a Maymester to Japan, but then because COVID was still kind of going, they ended up canceling it really early, so I never actually got to go, which was really sad. But then we visited Morocco, and again, we just kind of walked by. I thought the architecture was really cool. And then we entered France, and we were planning to go on the Ratatouille ride, but it was literally so long all day. The times were ridiculous, and we just didn't really have the time because we wanted to see the show that they had later at night. I was a little disappointed because the Ratatouille ride seemed really fun, but it's alright, maybe another time.